Was a new one. I never saw it do that one before. But we're here and we're live. Let's go.
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to seven, and the creator of what is going to be the number one most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had an incredible weekend. George Fleming said, take two. Did it come live on the other one? Because it told me that it didn't. But maybe it did. Who knows? We're here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Monday, June 17th, 2019. That's right. Today is Monday, June 17th, 2019. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be, Monday, June 17th, 2019. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most of this incredible day. Yeah, he said it did come live for two. See, on my screen, it popped up an error, said that it couldn't connect to the server. And so I had to go out of it and back in, and now that usually affects things because now people are going to have to find it, and hopefully too many people aren't stuck on the first one and they find the second one. Do me a favor, tag people that you know, watch the show. Just go ahead and tag them right now. Hit the share button, do all that good stuff, and that should fix the little snafu that I had this morning, if you don't mind. Listen, I hope you had a fabulous Father's Day weekend. I know I did. I had an absolutely fabulous Father's Day weekend. I mean, I really took it easy this weekend, right? I don't do that often, but I really took it easy this weekend. My daughter, she had a golf match, Miss Savannah. She had a golf match on Saturday, so that was incredible. Her driver is really coming together, dude. This kid has got this left-handed swing that's absolutely, it's just smooth as butter, and so she was out there crushing it on the golf course. It's so much fun, so I got to spend some time with her. It was just the two of us. All the other kids were at home with mama, so just the two of us out on the course. That was an incredible day. And then we spent some time at the ballpark this weekend. Joel had games, Willow had games, so we got to spend a lot of time out there at the ballpark, which was nice and easy. I played golf with my stepdad, so that's grandpa to the kids there in the middle, and then my good friend Deion Sanders, which you guys might know, Darian Sanders, and this is his brother Dion. Darian Sanders is the Broadway performer that will be performing at Grow Your Business for God's Sake in Nashville, and this is his brother Dion. So spent some time with Savannah on the golf course, spent some time with grandpa on the golf course, spent some time at the ballpark with Joel and with Willow. I had the most amazing meal last night. This is my favorite meal right here. I know it's silly, but if I could have any meal on the planet, I want shake and bake chicken. That's what I want. Shake and bake chicken legs with butter noodles and some broccoli. It's just absolutely delicious, man. It's my favorite meal. I don't know why it's my favorite meal. I guess my mom used to make it for me when I was young, but that's my favorite meal. And then, of course, top it off with some strawberry shortcake dessert. So I got to have that yesterday. I also got to have an amazing time at church yesterday. The message at church yesterday was absolute fire because he was talking about a very powerful subject. He was talking about burnout and what burnout really looks like, what causes burnout. And he was using references, man. There's some crazy things that are going on in the world today. He was talking about how they're creating these rage rooms. I should have got a video. They're creating these rage rooms in Canada where you can actually pay to go into a room with a sledgehammer and just break stuff. And you can either break the stuff that they have there on site, or you can bring your own stuff to break. There's people breaking guitars and taking sledgehammers and punching through walls and destroying computers and all this stuff. They have these rage rooms. And then he also showed a video of these new things that they have going on in China where you can actually put yourself in solitary confinement. You can put yourself in jail for like 24 hours, solitary confinement. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can call you. Nobody knows. You just get to go off the grid and off the map. And it was really interesting. He was talking about the reason these things are starting to pop up everywhere is because people are facing fatigue and they're facing burnout and they're getting frustrated and they don't know how to release. They don't know how to disconnect. They don't know how to relax. And so he talked about burnout, and it was just this fire topic. And it was like, you know, sometimes you just go to church and you just feel like the pastor's talking to you. And I want to clarify something here. I don't have burnout at all. I don't have any burnout. I love everything that I'm doing. I love every aspect of my life right now. However, I just found it really interesting and really topical because he was talking about the confines that we tend to put ourselves in, the expectations that we tend to put on ourselves, and the way that our culture and our environment has transformed us to believe certain things. Beverly just said, is the sermon recorded? Yes, go to southernchristianchurch.com, southernchristianchurch.com, and you can check out the sermon, right? So he was talking about these things, and it was just really interesting. It was like he was talking through me because I know how I'm wired, right? Like, I am wired a certain way. I grew up in the auto industry. And so I am wired to get in early, stay all day, and leave late. That's how I'm wired. That's how I built my success to this day. I put 20 years in the auto industry. A lot of those years I worked on, the first 10 of those, I worked on Sundays, 70 and 80-hour work weeks, right? And that was what was required. That's what I had to do. I believed that is what I had to do in order to be extremely successful. And it worked. It 100% worked. I've made a name for myself in automotive. I still am in the automotive industry on a lot of levels. I'm working with multiple dealerships across the country. I get to feed into salespeople around the globe, right? So I'm just built and I'm wired a certain way. And so as he was talking through this sermon, I was really thinking about the way that I'm built, the way that I'm wired, and it just like hit me. It just impacted me because I had a conversation on Friday. Kristen, my friend Kristen, and I will jump on calls on Friday. She's an incredible human being that I've known since we were in middle school, and she's just a super smart. She's built great wealth in the real estate area, the real estate division. She helps other people create wealth in real estate, and so she's just this awesome human being. So we tend to talk once a week and bounce ideas off one another. And she said something to me. What I love about Kristen is she'll call you out on your BS, right? So Kristen looked at me and she's like, Glenn, I know you say you're doing everything for your kids. I know you say you left the dealership so you could spend more time with your kids. And I know that your focus is to create a life that is conducive, that is joyful, and that is built around the thing that matters to you most, which is your family, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm spending more time with my kids now. I'm going to ball games. I'm going to soccer matches. I'm doing all of these extra things that I didn't used to be able to do, right? Because I was the GM of a big store, and I was there, and I had to work, and that's how it was, and that's how I was wired. And I left the house at 6 in the morning, and I got home at 10 o'clock at night, and that's just how it was forever. And now I'm not doing that. Now I'm spending time. I'm practicing. I'm throwing balls. I'm doing all of this stuff. And she was like, that's cool, Glenn. That's cool. She said, but has your schedule really changed, or has your schedule only shifted? And I thought, what do you mean? She said, well, you used to leave the house at like 6 in the morning and get home at 8 o'clock at night. She said, now you're leaving the house at like 4 in the morning and you're getting home at like 5 o'clock at night. Right? She's like, Glenn, you're spending more time, you're having more dinners, you're with the kids more, but you're still grinding 13-hour days, 14-hour days. She's like, you're still putting in the same schedule. You've just shifted it a little bit. And I got to thinking about that. I'm like, well, yeah, it's what it takes. I'm building a business. I'm building a business from scratch. This is what it takes. Or is it? Is this what it takes? Or is it? Is this what we were wired for? Or no? Those are some questions I had to start asking myself this weekend. Those are some questions that church had me asking, that my friends that hold me accountable to things started asking. And so I had to start asking myself this. And then check this out, man. This is how the universe works. I opened my Rise and Grind planner this morning. And apparently, I opened my Rise and Grind planner and I didn't even pay attention. I knew today was June 17th, but yet I filled out June 24th. But I think it's perfect that I filled out June 24th, because on June 24th, there's a quote from Lauren O'Donnell that says, "Draw a line, now live above it, color outside of it, dance on the edge of it, and refuse to be confined by it." Draw a line, now live above it, color outside of it, dance on the edge of it, and refuse to be confined by it. And I thought, my goodness, the universe is a powerful place, and it's telling me some stories, and I got to share these with my peeps here on Rise and Grind. But of course, before we go too deep, which we've already gone really deep, so we're going to make this quick. But before we go too deep, this is a part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. It's also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you. You say good morning to me, whether we're watching live or you're watching on replay. Say what's up, and I'll say what's up. Good morning, Emily. How do you say your last name? Goffler. How you doing, Emily? How you doing, George Fleming and Vicky Everett? What's up, Terry Collins and Laval Evans? How you doing, my man Josh? What's up, Daniel Fitzgerald, Nathaniel Banks, Laura Berman, Janelle Griego, Casey Rossiter, and Ray Hatcher. I saw Liza Myers Borges. What's up, Scott Simons? How you doing, Samuel Jimenez? Everybody's up in here this morning. I love it. Who else we got? Terry LaPierre, Jeremy Noling, and CC Eberly. What's up, Don Sankey, Janelle Griego, Vicky Everett. Yeah, Gowler, Emily Gowgler. That's what's up. What's up, Chris McLaughlin? Love it. Everybody's up in here. Dude, listen, man, we got to have a talk. For real, we got to talk about this stuff. That's what we do on this show. We started a life group, my wife and I. We started a life group on Fridays over at my house, place for families, people with kids can come to our house. We can get together and we can study a couple different things and mostly just live life in community, right? We always wanted to be a part of a life group, but it was really hard for us having 7 children. It's hard for us to get to people's life groups, right? And so for years, we complained about the fact that we couldn't get into a life group because it was difficult with the kids. And then finally a light bulb went off and my wife was like, why don't we just have the life group at our house? I'm like, cool. So we had a life group over at my house, and it was really interesting because one of the couples, he said, so what do you do for a living? I said, bro, I am the CEO and founder of Grow Your Business for God's Sake. I said, I help business owners, entrepreneurs, and business leaders grow their business. That's what I do. Right? And he was like, wow, that's pretty cool, man. And then I got to tell him even more. I'm like, yeah, so I've put together these incredible leaders in the business, just ultimate leaders in business, worldwide, global leaders in business. I put them all together on one stage. We're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, August 16th and 17th. It's going to be powerful. People get to connect with them. They get to do Q&A sessions with them. We're going to have Broadway performances from my man, Darian Sanders. Like, the whole event is going to be incredible in Nashville, Tennessee. And as I'm telling them all about it, I'm just getting more excited and jacked up about it, right? And then I'm like, and the best part is we're going to raise money for the church. We're also going to raise money for Rescue One Global, which is a local organization down there that is trying to eradicate sex trafficking around the globe, right? Super cool. So then I'm like, oh yeah, and by the way, I kind of have this thing called hashtag Rise and Grind, and I do this show every day, and it's really awesome, and thousands of people watch it every single month. And I created this book called The Morning Five: 5 Simple Steps to an Extraordinary Life, and I'm giving it away to people for free. All they have to do is go to themorning5.com, and they can get the book for 100% completely free, and it's changing the way people start their day, which I believe makes a massive impact on this planet. And so I'm sitting here and I'm getting to talk to this guy about all of these things that I do. And I'm like, man, this is awesome. Like, it is so much fun to talk about, right? So much fun to talk about. And then I'm like, yeah, and I get to travel, and I get to do trainings in Greece, and I get to do all of these things, and it's so cool, man. Like, I get to work with dealers all around the country, and I get to, like I said, I get to train over in Greece. I get to host a show that I love, and all of these things that I created that are so far out of the box from the life that I lived for the last 20 years. And I was thinking as I was talking to my friend Michael Kerrigan. This is Michael Kerrigan. He shares an office with me here at hashtag Rise and Grind. He builds a lot of the back end stuff, and he's a millennial. He's 26 years old. And I was talking to Michael, and he reminded me of something really important that I want to share with you today. He reminded me that some of the most successful people on the planet were people that thought outside of the box and did not fall into the confines of what society has told us we must do. Michael works from our office here, and he also works from his patio. He works on his deck overlooking the pool. He has a very unique way of looking at life. And see, I want to clarify something for those of you that are thinking this is an overnight type thing that you can just jump into that type of lifestyle. And I want to make sure to clarify something. I spent 20 years in the auto industry. I spent 20 years with the late nights, coming home at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. I spent 20 years learning all of the things I had to learn to become an absolute expert. You cannot become an expert overnight. You can't. Bill Gates, all those boys, they became experts putting in 10,000 hours. And that's what's required. However, with that said, once you become an expert, there are ways to think outside of the box in order to win. You see, joy, happiness, and success do not exist in a box. They don't. Joy, happiness, and ultimate success do not exist in a box. You see, my man Ali Rida, if you look up Ali Rida, he's the Guinness Book of World Record holder for selling the most cars in a year. The dude sold 1,500 cars in a year himself. He works 9 to 5. Monday through Friday. If you look at Frank Cornetti, he sells 100 plus cars a month. He works 4 days a week, a lot of the times 5-day weeks, 9 to 5. My man Bill Hav is just now transitioning to this. Bill Hav's the craziest son of a gun on the planet, but he's starting to transition. He's starting to realize that when he thought outside of the box, when he started focusing more on repeat and referrals, he started focusing on taking care of his customers long term versus taking ups on the lot. He started to realize that he could get flexible with his schedule. Once he became an expert at follow-up, once he became an expert at how he treats his customers, once he became an expert at helping people with bad credit, he was able to create something special, something different, something unique. And he's winning. If you look at like Steve Jobs, he didn't give a crap what society told him how he should do things. Or if you look at Jeff Bezos, Bezos didn't look at how society, he didn't just fall inside the box. I mean, look at these guys like Disney, right? Disney has always thought outside of the box. If you go back through Disney movies, like every Disney movie, the mom is dead. There's a dead mom. Who would have thought having a dead mom in every single movie would help lead to success? But see, Disney pulled from his own passion. He pulled from his own story. He pulled from his own unique footprint. And it's his unique footprint that is able to create this masterpiece, this masterful thing called Disney. You see, it's all a mindset, my friends. And see, we are all a slave to this thing right here, to the mind. But our programming right now is faulty. And I'm here to tell you today, I'm going to call it out. I'm going to yell it out. And I might lose some gigs in the automotive industry by calling this out. But I'm here to tell you here this morning, look, dude, you need vacations. You have to take your vacation days. My man Scott Simons was posting some videos. He's been at Turks and Caicos. He's been out there in the water. The water's crystal clear. They're chasing turtles. It's beautiful. He's getting refreshed. He's getting rejuvenated so that he can go back in and so that he can knock it out, right? Like Scott Simons is a beast. He's killing it. He does amazing things with his stores. But he takes the time that he needs for his family and for rest and for himself. Some of you aren't doing this. Some of you aren't taking the time that's required. You need a little flexibility. You need a little variety. You need a little rest. But most importantly is I need you to enjoy life. I am sorry. I have to apologize. Mainstream media has told you, like, there are so many good things we've learned. So many good things we've learned with the internet. So many good things we've learned from Gary Vee and from Grant Cardone and from my boy Eric Thomas. Like, we've learned so many things from these guys. But we are operating and being programmed faulty. There's some faulty programming. Like, there's a reason that Gary Vee is well known in the auto industry, and he's well known, like, he's well known. Okay, he's well known. But he is not globally known, right? Like, he's not a name. You can ask people right now, today, ask 5 people if they know who Gary Vee is, and 2 out of the 5 might know, right? But you ask 5 people who Will Smith is, all 5 know. You ask 5 people who Bill Gates is, all 5 know. You ask 5 people who, golly, just went blank. Tesla, all these guys, right? Zuckerberg. Throw out some names like that. Everybody knows. That's worldwide global success. Everybody knows. And every single one of those people thought outside the box. Every single one of those people are winners. They're the big guns because they drew a line. They live above it. They color outside of it. They dance on the edge of it. And they refuse to be confined by it. I'm creating a life for myself and for my family right now. I'm creating a business. I'm creating a business from scratch. I'm creating a business that's built 100% around the ideas that were gifted to me from my Father above. He gave me this thing called the Morning 5. He gave me this thing called Grow Your Business for God's Sake. He gave me this thing called hashtag Rise and Grind. And I'm building something new, 100% new. And the mistake that I'm not going to make, and I'm reminding this to myself, and I want to share it for whoever, it might be you might not need to hear this message. But if you do, I want to talk to you right now. I want to get intimate. I want to get in close. Because as we build our empires, as we build the joyous life which God called us for, I want you and I to both understand that we don't have to do it the same way everybody else did it. As a matter of fact, we're likely to have higher levels of success if we don't do it the exact same way that everybody else did it. Now, success leaves clues. You know, I'm the biggest advocate of that. We must study. We must learn. We must take away. But I want you to make this uniquely yours. Uniquely yours, and do not fall into the pressures or the confines feeling that you have to do something a certain way in order to get a certain result. Fair enough? I stick to my beliefs in the morning routine, but I don't care what time your morning is. I don't care if you wake up at 10 o'clock at night and you spend some time with self in gratitude and goals. I don't care if you wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and spend some time with self in gratitude and goals. The 5 steps apply at 10 p.m., 10 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 p.m., whatever works for you. Whatever time you first wake up and kick off your day. For me, it's 3:50 a.m. That's what works for me. That's how I get to get in here and be on the show with you, which is what makes me unique, which is how we connect, which is my joy. I find so much happiness and joy in sharing this time with you. So this morning, I just felt compelled to talk about that today. My man Hank Norman, who I'm working with, he's an agent. What's up, Brian Benstock? Dude, I am so happy to see you, my man. I haven't seen Benstock in here in a while. Benstock's a perfect example. The dude thinks and lives outside of the box all the time. The dude created a way for people, for his company to pick their cars up at home while they're sleeping, bring them in, get their vehicles serviced, and put them back in their driveway by the time they wake up. And his business is blown up. Nobody else had done it. Nobody else thought it was possible. Are you kidding me? Thinking outside the box, creating your own path. That's where the true high levels of success exist. And enjoying the ride along the way. That's my message for you today. Because see, I so desperately want you to find joy. I so desperately want you to be excited and eager and happy to get after it every single day, right? My grind comes from my passion and my fire and my fuel because I love what I do. I love that I get to put amazing leaders together on stages in Nashville. I love that I get to write books. I love that I get to go to my daughter's golf matches. I love shake and bake chicken, for goodness sake. I love it all, man. And I get messages from you that are struggling. I get messages for those of you that are down. I get messages from those of you that don't enjoy and love life. And I want to change that. Because, see, you, my friend, are a child of God. The God of the universe that made everything. He made you to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Not an average version, not a below average version, but the absolute best. And you're starting to make moves in the right direction. You are. Your comments, you're in the Rise and Grind group, you're watching the show, you're doing the Morning 5. And I want you to know that all of these things that you're doing, they're making an impact. They're making an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers, and it's made a massive impact on me. And I, for one, absolutely love you for it. I do. I absolutely stinking love you. So go out there today and create. Create what is uniquely you. Draw the line. Live above it, color outside of it, dance on the edge of it, and refuse to be confined by it. Then come back here tomorrow morning. We're going to do this all over again. 5:30 a.m. on hashtag Rise and Grind. Fair enough? Fair enough. If you need more videos, you can go to glennlundy.com. If you need some Rise and Grind gear, you can go to glennlundy.com. But like I said, most importantly, come back again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do it all over again. Hashtag Rise and Grind.
On my feet before the sunrise, stepped into my greatness, feeling powerful and energized. Thankful to be alive. Hashtag blessed. Write my mission, vision, values, and my gratitude list. I'm building up momentum. I'm making good decisions. I rise, I grind, I get it. Ain't no doubt that I'm committed. Cause who really loses if I don't win? Can't cheat the grind, only get what you put in. So I'm mastering my my mentals. I'm focused on my physical. I'm developing spiritually and manifesting miracles. I'm gonna get it started, have a party in the morning, and I'ma wake the world and so alarm. And I hashtag rise and grind.